Alright, how's it going, everybody? My name is Infamous Isaac, and I'm here on Smite, but I'm not by myself like the usual antisocial loner that I am. I'm here with one of my friends, and why don't you introduce yourself before I go into the topic?
Heyo, I'm Dave Fates. I'm just gonna be called Trevon. That's my name. So I'll just be here to answer whatever the hell Rudy is asking me here, or Infamous Isaac. But well, damn.
No, no, don't worry, don't worry.
uh, you
If
can
the
edit
world
that.
didn't know my name, now they do, but I don't care, it's whatever.
Yeah, you can edit it. You can always edit that out if you really wanted to.
Nah, it's raw,
Besides
uncut.
that, I was gonna say that it's not like this would be important footage because we haven't even selected characters yet, and we certainly haven't gotten to the topic.
We are in a recording. You know what? We'll leave it in. I don't care. People have called me by
We
my name
will leave
anyway,
it
so it
in.
doesn't
Who
matter.
cares? All right.
Alright. But yeah, so the topic, right? I brought you on to talk about something that I think you're knowledgeable on. And since there's two things I think you're knowledgeable on, we can decide it on a coin flip. So,
Oh boy.
heads is option A that you don't know yet, and tails option B, of course. So,
Neither of which I know yet.
yeah.
The-
But this is just for me. Before anything, let me two mages. All right, let me pick my character. Uh, let's go somebody simple so I don't stress about the gameplay. All right, which one are you picking, A or B?
um, is this not just gonna be a coin flip?
Mm-hmm.
Um, eh, well, let's just go with that.
All right. Well, it landed on B. That is terrible. um, you know what?
Suppose that's the nature of a coin flip.
I'll use my powers to override that. We're going with A because A is more interesting. All right, so
Hang on,
A is Smite, but more so the pro league scene of Smite.
Ooh,
Since
okay.
I know you have like extensive knowledge on it, I wanted to ask like since I don't know much about it except that it happens. How how did you get into Pro League Smite? And why did you get into Pro League Smite?
How and why?
Yeah.
All right. So, how is I think I was just stumbling on YouTube and eventually came across the channel Smite VODs.
Yeah.
So that is where obviously the VODs for the matches come out. This is where they're held, and I think I was watching. I don't remember what season. Might have been. It was one of the last couple of seasons where we had some my favorite version of Team Rival, which would also be Team Ghost or the modern day Jade Dragons. Um,
Mhm.
my favorite version of that team existed where we had, I believe, uh, it was Solo Lane. Solo Lane was my favorite player of all time. That would be Deathwalker. Um, you had Ice Ice Baby in the jungle. You had, I believe, the duo was Vote and Callus. And the mid was. Why I'm blanking. But yeah, I had gotten into it about that time. I'd pretty much just been watching their games leading up into the semi-finals and then explicitly the finals of that year's event. Um, and of course it was just like moments like that and watching shit that was really hype that really got me into it.
Yeah, they connected back to the game you played a lot, so
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
see
I
it.
play a lot of Smite, but and it was just it's really interesting to like see how people who are just so much better than me at the game play it. It
Yeah, like a professional level, like any sport.
yeah, yeah. And because uh by that point, uh that's when that's when high level strategies started becoming more and more common in like my day-to-day Smite.
Yeah,
uh it was good to see what things were just going to happen. Like seeing I distinctly remember, just to give an example, it happened in earlier this season. Seeing one of the teams this season send a jungler immediately from red to the duo lane. I saw it and I'm like, that is like 100% going to happen to me this at some point soon, having now seen that it happened. And lo and behold, I don't even think it was a week later.
literally, like copying strategies on Smite is so like the meta. From what I
It's
can tell,
super
it's so
common.
volatile. Like it changes
It's
like that.
it changes like every patch, and that's, well, not every patch, but items get weaker and stronger because the game is mostly balanced around the Pro League. That is how Hi-Rez does most of their
Yeah,
balances. So it's good to understand what's decent just so that way you know what's coming. Don't get super attached to something that you know is leaving in in like 2 weeks off in a patch.
yeah. Whether it's broken and fun or just broken and annoying, because
Yeah.
that has happened so much for like the 5 years I've seen this game.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, like off of what I've seen from all the times that we played Smite, like you, once you got into the pro league, you started putting more strategy into the game and taking it more seriously because like any sport, you pick up on terms and strategies and
Yeah.
ideas and certain things. So like with the pro league, there I can respect it like any other esport, like how League is just as popular or anything like that.
Yeah.
But you know. The way I saw it, the way I've seen the pro league was, because I'm subscribed to the Smite like YouTube channel, so I see some streams happening from time to time. I don't check on them, but it's just crazy to me that Smite has gotten to that point from where like I remember starting on Susanoo when he came out to it having a pro scene and I don't know if it's thriving or not, but they had to rebrand their teams if I remember. Are they thriving
Yeah.
now?
Uh, Depends on how. Like, I will tell you why the rebranding happened because
Yeah,
that. So a huge thing about it was that the um the teams got treated kind of shit, and they weren't always getting the money that they needed. So the whole rebranding thing happened because Smite essentially removed organizations from the Pro League. So, if you know how normal Pro Leagues work, is usually organizations buy in to compete, they sign players, and they are then in charge of making sure those players get paid.
yeah,
And Smite decided that they had had enough of, the shit happening, and there were no more organizations, pretty much. So now the teams and the players are pretty much paid off by Hi-Rez themselves, using whatever money they end up acquiring through, skin sales, all the sales that they do and whatnot, as well as through their advertising. Like, if you've seen, they were they had advertised for super long. They had partnered with Alienware last season.
oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were selling Alienware like monitors and Alienware
Mm.
hardware, and it was cool as well as gaming chairs. They're still selling gaming the Maxonomic brand gaming chair, something of the sort. I don't exactly remember,
Yeah.
but yeah. So they pretty much raise their money, pay off the players, and the I don't know exactly where I'm going with this, but yeah, that's
Yeah. So basically, they had to rebrand because of some player.
because yeah, they're they weren't necessarily getting paid too amazingly and whatnot. It's a strange story, and it's one I'm glad I don't hear much about anymore. Because I don't think the players are getting scummed out of money anymore or anything like that.
Yeah. At least hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not. I believe these guys definitely deserve to be making their money off of what they do because they are very fucking good at it.
Yeah. No matter what sport you play, whether it's pro like that, like esports or any sport, if you're good at something and you're on a professional level, you should get your money.
Yeah, you deserve to be making it.
But we're with the pro scene right now. Like, how do the seasons work? When do they start? Because like I know for the NBA, it starts in October usually. So how does it work for this?
Um, ugh. When it actually starts, oof, I am so bad at remembering dates. Um,
Well, I guess you could say
so I
like
can't
the
tell you
season.
exactly when, but
Yeah.
as we get new seasons of Smite, typically we get new. This Kumbhakarna just feels like he's doing a lot. No, no, he's just Kumbhakarna. Uh, either way, uh, so yeah, it's pretty much as we get seasons of Smite, we're usually in the same thing of Pro League. But
Mhm.
and then of course it's divided into like splits pretty much.
Yeah.
So we have right now we're in the like first third of the first third of it where right now they're playing and then we'll go to um the season one like the first season playoffs of this season.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and with that will, that will, it pretty much just sets the tone for how everyone's looking this season.
There's multiple playoffs, or it's just like
Yeah, so we get a playoff for every, for every one of these. So this first split will get playoffs, and that'll be the first real sign of how this season's looking. Or maybe it won't maybe it'll not show off anything at all. I mean, season one, or like for last time, or for last year, I should say. Um, the first season, I believe, was won by the Jade Dragons, who I believe came like, who were maybe like, who when it comes to Worlds weren't even in the finals. The finals was between the Leviathans and the Titans. And the
mm,
Titans, their roster change just happened. Like man, it's so weird to describe this, but uh, yeah, in essence, we get worlds and shit. I should not be
it's
focusing this
difficult
hard
too,
on that.
right? It's difficult
I should
too.
not be focusing this much on the match of arena, considering what it is. But
Nah, don't worry,
I
I
get
understand. It's something that you just get used to later on, but it's difficult too.
they just
Oh,
started.
well, there you go. Now you can answer the
It
question.
started. All right. Well, um, yeah. So we get playoffs. So we get our first couple like 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks of matches. Then we get playoffs. Then we'll have more matches. Then another playoffs, and then finally and then we get to the third and final split, and your placements and that determine what seed you are for Worlds,
Yeah.
and if you're even in Worlds, um, because the I believe if you're like sixth, or maybe if you're in the bottom two, you just have a chance to l- lose out to challenger circuit team, one of the teams from the. I don't really want to call them the minor league, but it's essentially the minor league.
Hmm.
They're the teams that just like aren't. They're either just not in the SPL, or for whatever reason, because now most of the SPL teams are all moved and based or in the United States, in the Atlanta region, I believe. Wherever Smite is actually, wherever like their LAN is, they're based around there. As of the changes of the names, and
Yeah.
especially this year. So if you couldn't really be based there, and Smite servers aren't the greatest.
Yeah, but I say like, but that's interesting then. So you only really play with people like the teams in that region, and that's where the pro leagues happen. But for the most part, that's man, I like it's so crazy how professional it really is, even though it's might like to me. I just play this game for fun, but then I realize like yeah, people play this professionally and earn money from it. That's so fire.
Yeah, people pay this as a job.
Yeah, like that's so cool to me. That's so cool. Like props to them for A being good at the game and for B hopefully getting their money's worth. But yeah, do you wanna keep going? Do you want me to ask you more questions about this?
Oh yeah, I'm I'm just here to be here. That's fine.
Then I'll ask a couple more. So, as of right now, like who's your favorite player? Who's your favorite team? Like I think you mentioned the Jade Dragons earlier, but as of right now, like
Um,
who you feeling?
right now with the current rosters, my favorite team, it probably hasn't changed from last season, which would be the Camelot Kings.
Hmm.
Um, and my favorite player, eh, ooh, I'm a fan of quite a few. Um,
Then list whoever you
let's.
want. Like list a
I
couple.
was gonna say, I popped in my head. I guess I'll try and go by lane. Solo lane, it's Jade Dragon's fine, okay. He he's on YouTube. If you watch Smite content, you probably watch him at least a little bit. He's just a fun. Not only is he a pretty entertaining guy, but he's a damn good solo laner.
Hmm.
Honestly, you could probably make the argument that he's either number one. He's probably top three solo laners in the league right now. I'd say like
Mm.
him, Yarkor,
Hmm.
um,
That's for solo.
Jung, Jungle. Captain Twig is always entertaining. Twig is. I don't know how to describe Captain Twig, but oh, yeah. There's quite a few junglers. Junglers are pretty entertaining to watch in general because the jungle role really is a very sink or swim kind of role, and there's a lot of good junglers, and there's a lot of junglers who, if they're doing well, their team is doing well. Scream comes to mind very much.
Mm-hmm.
ADC, it's Netrioid. Netrioid is simply, I think, uh, and I think they quote this on the SPL. He is one of the hunters who wins like the most 1v1s.
Oof.
And distinctly speaking, if there's any player god combo that I associate and love to see picked, it's Netrioid on Rom. He plays an amazing Rom. It is
Mm.
terrifying. The amount of snipes that man hits with his ult is insane, and the plays that that man makes on that character are great.
As far as the
He
league
has
concerned, that's his character.
like Netroid has is an amazing ADC, and like I said, he is one of those people who, you're not shocked when you think of ADC, him beating ADCs in just the one-on-one. Of like there are other great ADCs in the league. Barracuda Zapman.
Yeah.
Like there are some ADCs is a stacked role, but Netroid will is like when it comes to like my thinking at least is the fucking top of the top. He's amazing and I love watching him.
Mm.
Ooh, support. Genetics has great plays. Mm, so does fucking Bobby though. Mm, Genetics and Inbound are both very fun to watch. Inbound distinctly has his pick that I think most people think of, and at least I think of, is his Hercules support is incredibly fun to watch. Genetics has a trademark Ymir, and Genetics
Oh.
Genetics has some of the best walls that I've ever seen a Ymir player do.
Mm.
Genetics 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 is one of the few supports who has had 5 bans all targeting him, and will still find character, and he will still play a character and just absolutely control a game as a support. Genetics is one of those players, and I believe this is second and a half year in the SPL.
Mhm.
I think so. He's only gonna keep getting better.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
he's damn good. I enjoy him. Um, Mid, I do not have a favorite, but if I'm going to just pick someone who does really interesting things, Pagon does. Pagon played like Susanoo mid in the SPL this year
Hey,
already.
yo,
So
that sounds crazy.
so if there's anyone I'm going to see do some funny shit, it's probably gonna be him. Like
Bro.
like that's why I love mid and why I've been playing mid more recently is because like non-mage mids are incredibly fun. Like not only assassins, but Neath mid is great. Medusa mid also fun. Chiron mid viable, and can be fun because his ult Centaurus it hits hard as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, but Neath of course is probably like the staple one right now because you go the full power build with a mannequin hidden bleed, and suddenly someone right before a fight happens is getting hit for actually 75% of their health bar on a minute long cooldown,
Bro,
and it's kind of devastating because then she's also hitting you for like 300 damage in auto attack, while there's another ADC who's probably hitting you for another like 250.
that's that's kind of unfair. Oh no.
A little bit, but it's how the cookie crumbles. Besides, it's not like she has too much AOE unless she has weaves in the area. So
Which I mean, yeah,
kind of
fair
just
enough.
have you do what you do against the Neath ADC, where you just kind of have to die that. You gotta have to run at her. If her backflip still isn't that great at one escape, so just run at her. The reason she's better on mid than an ADC, at least in my opinion, is because not only can she do that full power and just fucking wreck someone's shit, but because the mid lane is so much shorter from tower to tower than the duo lane is.
You get more
Uh,
farm then, right?
Not necessarily, because on mid you're going to be sharing XP with more people. You're going to be sharing with the jungler. You're
Ah,
going to be sharing with the support,
mm,
but
yeah.
you're also safer on the mid lane because despite that, the lane is shorter, so her backflip is getting her closer to the tower much faster.
Ah, mm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
hmm And then she has a decent heal with her X, and it's an attack speed slow. So it's it, she has good utility. She has good enough utility to be in that mid lane role while you have another ADC somewhere else.
Along with our
She's
ult
she's
stun
a fun
too,
pick.
right? This is, can help a lot on team fights.
Yeah, and of course, just being in the center of the map, that ult is getting wherever you want it to be a little faster than it would in the ADC role. Like,
Yeah.
it because it still has travel time. If you're trying to hit the solo lane or the jungler in the solo lane, all the way from bot or fucking duo lane, it's going to take longer to get from duo than it would from mid. But yeah, there are really interesting and fun picks that I've seen come out of every lane this season so far. But mostly, yeah, pig on mid is really funny.
Well, uh, to close it out before this video is 45 minutes long because no matter who you are, if you talk about anything that you're passionate about, you'll talk on it for hours on end. Like though the pro league having picks like that, it goes to show like some characters, if in the right hands, can be crazy. Like Meath on mid, I would never try because I'm just like, I mean, I could, but I can just pick a mage instead. It's like the flexibility that you have when skill is a compensator is it's crazy. The creativity's fire. Like Susanoo on mid still catches me like that's so wild to me. But yeah, like with the way that you talk about it with the pro league, like not having a favorite like that to be, it really shows like how invested you are in it because you look at everybody. Like I know because I'm the same way with the NBA. Like I know a lot of players, they're all fun to watch. So it's just like, whoever you like is whoever you like. So I think that's also fire. But regardless, before this video is like 80 minutes long. Do you want me to link your YouTube channel in the description?
No, there's no point. I don't upload there consistently enough.
Alright, well, bet. Then I'll just thank you here. Thank you, thank you for coming on to the YouTube channel. I really appreciate it for giving us his insight, his knowledge. That's something you're passionate about.
They'll see me again. I'll be back inevitably.
Hopefully, if I get around to it, we can talk about the other thing that was on the coin flip, which is gonna be interesting. But yeah,
I'll have to
again,
wait and see what that is. You and me both, audience.
nah, yeah, I'm telling you. At first, I said it was kind of whack, but now I have a bunch of questions for it. So when it happens, you guys will know. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Thank you again for watching. And thank you for helping. And as always, hope y'all enjoyed. And I'll check y'all out. Peace.
Bye.